All right,
Mike, we're live.
All right, you want to take it? Look at this TV in the back.
Look at this. I need a screen back here. It is the Sports Hangover. I'm Dawg. That's Mike. We're both in California, and we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks.
It's been 3 weeks. We were supposed to see each other 2 weeks ago. Then the election happened. A lot of stuff happened, and now we're back. We're here. Hopefully, we have some people tuning in live. We're recording live right now on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you can find us. So I'm excited, Jeremy. You transitioned, you moved for temporary times over to California, and a lot's going on. How is it? How's it going on down there?
California's been great. San Diego, loved it. Went to the zoo yesterday, Mike. Me and you went to the San Diego Zoo 6 years ago. I hate zoos. 6 years ago. So that was good. You didn't hate it then.
What? No, I did hate it then. What's the point of a zoo? To me, there is no real desire to see caged animals. I have no desire. I love seeing dolphins when we're on a boat. Oh my God, look at the dolphins. But then you see a sad chimp. I'm like, oh man.
Well, the best zoos, Mike, have great setups for these animals. They're very happy there. And the thing that was the coolest thing, and you'll remember this from last time. Do you remember the cheetah with the dog? They're still there. Yeah. They're in one cage, and the dog teaches the cheetah how to act more domesticated.
It's so sad.
So that's a fun one. Also, 6 years ago when we were in San Diego, we went kayaks, whale watching 3 miles out, and we saw some whales. Now, did you see the viral video in the same exact place of a whale eating a paddle boarder in that same spot, Mike, on the same trail off of La Jolla, California? It's all over TikTok. I thought you'd be all over that.
No, was it your brother or something? What happened?
No, we're just hanging out, making plans. Oh, whale watching in November. Let's take the kayaks out. And now this paddle boarder got eaten. We're like, nah, we're gonna go out in a big boat and just chill.
Did he die?
No reports of death yet. I don't know, but it's on TikTok. The person was recording it, so I feel like they survived. If their chest camera made it to the internet, made it to TikTok in the end.
We got a comment. Andrew Silvers is watching. He says the whale ate that dude. So this is
this is a real thing. So normally we share things when we know the person's okay, and this is not one of those times.
Not good. I shouldn't be laughing at that. Jeremy, I wanted to bring up. You're bringing up a lot of dates. In 1 week from today, it marks our 100th year of recording the Sports Hangover. But really, it's been 10 years we've been doing the Sports Hangover. Every year I get a little trigger that says, hey, Michael, you bought the domain, the Sports Hangover, 10 years ago, and that's when we started. And,
Mike, this is big. As all successful 10-year podcasts, we have an IPO. Yeah. We're hitting Wall Street next week. We're doing valuations as we go. Right. The SPAC is in the works. We have some big name investors joining us. Popline's really taken off in those 10 years, and it's all because of the success of the Sports Hangover in 2010.
I'm excited. It's been 10 years, and literally it took 10 years for technology to catch up to what we wanted to do.
Right. We were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, we tried doing this 10 years ago with video and screens and put it online. Finally came around 10 years.
We're Andrew Yang in 2020 when he will be president in 2034. We're just 14 years ahead.
Yeah, sometimes you're too soon. You got to be at the right time. It's all about timing. Real quick, I wanted to do some hangover highlights from the weekend, Jeremy. A lot of big things happened. Do you want to just jump right into Tua time? You want to talk to me? Do you want to
my gosh, this was down a little? I went to the zoo in the morning so I could come watch Tua and Kyler Murray. What a quarterback matchup in the afternoon. Mike, I'm a Kyler Murray guy. I think he's in the top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL. And the Reddit community doesn't like when I write columns about it. But Mike, Tua was better than Kyler Murray yesterday. Tua in his second start ever was better than Kyler. Tua is going to be in my top 10. Wait till Reddit hears about this.
I loved it. I was watching the game. I did not expect, because I bet on Arizona. I did not expect Tua to be that good. It was a great game. He looks legit. All these young quarterbacks I'm really excited about.
It's great because Brady and Breeze aren't it. So it's so good that we have the young guys.
No, well, let's talk about that. Brady.
No, wait. I'm sorry to derail you. You were naming the great young quarterbacks. Who's been your bright spot of the year?
Burrow, Justin Herbert. I mean, I love that kid. He's so good. All these kids are and another one. I was gonna bring it up later, but I love the guy who stepped in for Gardner Minshew. Hold on, what is his name?
Oh,
Jake
Luton.
I am a huge fan. I know the Houston Texans are a terrible team, but he took this terrible Jags team and all of a sudden made DJ Shark a actual superstar in fantasy. And he was playing a game. He was so good. He was so much better than Minshew. I couldn't believe it. I'm in.
Shout out Duval for the random quarterback that you guys just found. He's better than most quarterbacks that teams find on the scrap heap. Herbert looks amazing. I think they lost that game, right? They lost.
They
lost. He threw the touchdown at the end. The guy caught it, and then on like the fifth replay, we realized he dropped it. So it's like kind of a sad ending for the Chargers. I think that's what happened.
I'm not too into like the wins or losses for the Chargers,
I know,
but it's exciting that he's good.
General, right? He looks so good, and I commented he's got some Mahomes in him. The way he scrambles a pocket and throws laser beams. I know he's not Mahomes in general, but just the escapability and the arm strength. That's a two-turn combo.
You're gonna love this, Jeremy. I got a stat. It's got the 100 Club. Patrick Mahomes becomes the fastest QB to reach 100 touchdown passes, and JJ Watt became the 5th fastest player to reach 100 sacks.
You know, I was wondering about JJ Watt. I always forget he exists. Like the Texans defense, I think we talked about this recently. The Texans defense hasn't been good in years. They always lose that first round playoff game they get. And it's always like the Deshaun Watson show. You're never talking about JJ Watt. And now the Steelers are good. And TJ Watt has exceeded JJ Watt. Like the Texans were never the best defense in the league. Now the Steelers are with TJ Watt. So like, is TJ just better than JJ overall? Like in terms of how they're going to go down in history?
I think Bill O'Brien just destroyed the franchise and they're trying to figure out what to do there. Cause I thought they were going to sell off Will Fuller or sell off some assets and just get rid of people and rebuild for the future. But they didn't make any moves. So they're stuck with what they got and JJ's still there.
In regards to the Will Fuller move, we know the Packers, Mike, we know any chance they get to help Aaron Rodgers, they don't do it. And so classic Packers trade deadline, looking for some offense. Will Fuller's available. They're talking about a trade. And of course it doesn't happen. Because why would you help Aaron Rodgers when you can actually give him nothing and he'll still go out and win you games?
He's doing pretty good, but he's also played really shitty teams. We can talk more about that in gambling time. But what is the other game I want to talk about? Oh, I want to talk about the Steelers game. Steelers almost lost to Dallas with their 4th-string quarterback, which I was also impressed by. I thought he was decent for all these rookie quarterbacks. I don't know what they're doing. They must have been playing Madden growing up their whole life because this kid was good.
He was good. I want to talk about this game from both perspectives, and let's play a little game of bullshit or believe.
Oh, I love it. All right, hold on. Haven't used the board in a while. I'm looking for the sound.
A little rusty.
There it is. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe time. Bullshit or believe. What do you got?
It's a tough economy. We wish we could hire someone to push the button, someone who can see color and actually see what they're pressing, but we can't afford that.
No, you can't afford that right now. It's going. All
right. Bullshit or believe, Steelers Cowboys edition. I got a question on each side. Number one. Bullshit or believe. Sorry in advance to the Steeler fans. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the most fraudulent 8-0 team in NFL history.
I was going to go bullshit here. I don't think that the Steelers are as bad as they appeared playing Dallas. I think they are a solid team. They have great defense, but I don't think, so sometimes like maybe mid-season, you kind of like, oh, I'm a little tired, a little hurt. They did get that really early bye, which they all just kind of waved off because they got that second week bye because of COVID.
Right.
I think in the long run, it might hurt them down the road because of Big Ben. He loves a walking boot. So he will be getting a walking boot sometime this season.
Oh, he hurt both knees yesterday. Apparently he's going to play the first quarter of next week's game in a wheelchair and still slinging passes.
Oh, yeah. So there you go. He loves being injured. I don't think they're fraudulent. I think they're good, but I don't think their matchups have been very. What do you think? I mean, obviously,
you're scared of one listener in particular.
I'm not.
Our
I love Big Lou.
Father who listens to the show. He's making his money right now, listening to the show, and you're afraid to offend him. And I'm not afraid, Mike. I'm not afraid. They are the most fraudulent 8-0 team in NFL history. As a Dolphins fan, I can speak about one thing in particular, and it's about undefeated teams. And I know a fraud when I see it. And the Steelers are that fraud. To come out that slow against the Dallas Cowboys, who are broken. Mike McCarthy has run that team and that franchise into the ground, and Dak Prescott not being available has just sunken the entire offense. For that game to be that close and for the Cowboys to be winning the whole game, Tomlin should be embarrassed. The Steelers should be embarrassed. Their offense was not clicking. It has not been clicking in recent weeks. And it turns out when the offense is clicking, the defense lets up, and they always let their opponents come back like the Titans a few weeks ago. I think they finish maybe 11-5, which means they go 3-5 the rest of the way. Maybe 12-4, 4-4 the rest of the way. And I don't think they go to the Super Bowl.
I can tell you that on our group thread, the photos of our mutual friend, his feelings throughout the game,
heart attack level, right?
He's up and down. It's like that's why he's going gray. because he's so stressed out for these Steelers. They have to lose a few games so they can kind of bounce back. They always like being a little underdog, right? They don't want to be like the champions, but they're good. I bet on them last week. They didn't cover. So
I wish I was going gray.
Not going gray.
All right, another one. Mike, this is big. Did you know the quarterback on the other side of the field from Big Ben was AAF legend Orlando Apollo quarterback Garrett Gilbert? Did you know that was him?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't even realize it.
I got the sense you didn't know that because we didn't talk about it yet. But you mentioned you like the quarterback on the other side of the field. I let that comment go. Orlando Apollo legend. He was the one. God. We almost had him on the show. We had the AAF Boys podcast as part of the Popline Media Network. Garrett Gilbert was one of the best quarterbacks in the AAF after I think it was PJ Walker who went to the Panthers. Remember him?
Well, the Orlando Apollo, they won. They won the championship. Well, or whatever. I mean, it kind of ended.
They had the best record through 6 games when they ran out of money. That's what they won. By the way, just thinking about it now, the AAF and the XFL, neither one of them would have survived COVID, right? Like we know that.
No, they're all. So it's kind of done. Like
might as well have left while you did because you wouldn't have survived it this far.
There's some bad timing right there for both of those.
So let me get to my bullshit or believe question. Garrett Gilbert, the AAF hero from Orlando, Florida, the best quarterback to come out of Orlando since Blake Bortles. Mike, he is the answer at quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Bullshit or believe?
Oh, well, you know I don't love Dak.
I know that.
I'm not a fan of Dak. We know Andy Dalton's not the answer. Mm-hmm. Why not? Why couldn't it be the Orlando Apollo legend coming in? I'm going to believe it. I'm going to believe all the way.
I believe
he came from the AAF. I mean, you got to give him props for that.
It's like if you bought stock in the AAF and then they went out of business, so your stock transferred to players, like you would have hit it big yesterday with Garrett Gilbert. I agree with you. I think he's the answer. My last question, we're just going to hit all of our friends in one. We have a lot of friends that are Bucs fans. They were Bucs fans before Brady, believe it or not. Those do exist. Tom Brady looked completely washed last night. A lot of people are talking about the Super Bowls in Tampa, so Brady's going to be there. I think there's 0% chance of that. Honestly, they have all the offensive weapons, and Brady's arm strength looks like shit, Mike. I'll set you up that way. Tom Brady is done and washed. Bullshit or believe?
So do you think this is like I'm getting tired through the season, kind of like a Big Ben thing? Or is this a bad scheme? Or is Tom Brady legitimately just done? Because we also thought Drew Brees was done. I feel like this is a scheme. They played terrible against the Giants the week before. They literally did not score a touchdown. I have a stat here. It was the worst loss of Tom Brady's career and the first game in which he threw multiple picks and no touchdowns since 2009. Now, in 2009, he was like 31, right? Which sounds crazy because even some quarterbacks that are 31 are out of the league.
Yeah.
Right? So that's how old he was. He older? 33 maybe? I don't know how old he is right now. He's 40 something.
He's 43 now. And they always had these games. Like think back to the Patriots. They always had these games where you wrote the Patriots off, you wrote Brady off. By the way, I see Mel Kiper back there. There's no draft talk. What is ESPN doing behind you with Mel Kiper?
We can't
even talk about the draft now.
It's Monday night. It's Monday night countdown. We're recording on Monday night at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time. He's
distracted. The guy works like 1 month a year, and it's not
on payroll. He's on payroll.
Okay, so back to Brady. It's great. He has 20 touchdown passes this year. He also has 7 interceptions, including the 3 in that game against the Saints. They may have only lost 3 games this year, but he hasn't looked good lately. If you remember that game they played against the Giants last week, Monday Night Football? Yeah. They won by 2 points. A few weeks ago, they played Chicago on Thursday night, and they lost the game to a bad Nick Foles. I just don't think Brady's the guy. I think he is washed. I think their offense cannot protect his lack of arm strength because they don't have a good running game or a good offensive line. And I think the Saints will come back and win the division.
All right. I like it. I mean, the Saints look good. They destroyed the Bucs last night. And now I'm going to jump off your bullshit or believe and play a little version of my bullshit or believe. I'm going to do overrated or underrated quarterbacks bullshit or believe. And we'll just fire him. Tom Brady. Is he overrated or underrated?
This year or through the course of history?
Right now. We're all talking about these quarterbacks right now.
Oh, completely overrated. The Bucs are an average team with him and an average team without him.
What about Kyler Murray?
Underrated. The guy's going to be a top 5 quarterback. If you had to ask me right now, Deshaun Watson or Kyler Murray, I'm going to lean toward Murray, and I love both.
Tell me about Murray because I don't see it when I'm watching him. Even when he was playing Miami last week, he doesn't look that great at all times. A lot of scrambling, but scramble first, throw second. And that's what bothers me about sometimes Lamar, where he's going to scramble always. And there's some quarterbacks, like I feel like Deshaun is more of a guy that wants to throw first, then scramble, and he's able to scramble away. And
Deshaun might be a better passer, but the dynamic playmaking of Kyler, he does run a lot, and he's a little smaller and faster than Deshaun, so that makes sense. When he throws a ball, he's accurate. He throws a great deep ball. He throws a touchdown bomb to Christian Kirk every week. He throws 10 targets to Hopkins. I know Hopkins had a quiet game. The Dolphins actually have a lockdown corner. Don't be worried about that fantasy.
Two weeks now with Hopkins very, very quiet, and he's the best player on the team.
You can trade him to me because he'll go off next week.
I know he'll be good. Overrated or underrated. Josh Allen.
I'd say underrated. I think he's good, and I did not give him credit coming out of that draft. You think back to the draft with Darnold and Rosen and Mayfield, Allen's the guy until something else happens. He's the guy.
My Super Bowl pick for the AFC.
I guess.
There's a shot, maybe.
What's up with their running game? Why is Josh Allen their running back too?
I have no idea. It's cold up there. They do things differently.
Stephon Diggs was a great pickup for him. Like a guy you can throw to every play. That's the kind of guy he needed.
Not a Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins can never do that. Right. What about Phillip Rivers? Underrated?
Overrated? I don't know anyone who is still overrating him. The Colts are winning some games, I think. I was telling someone recently, I haven't seen Phillip Rivers in a Colts uniform. And I watch Red Zone, and I feel like I still never see them. Like, are they never in the Red Zone? Like, can you comment on this?
They're not fun games to watch.
Have you seen him play?
I have seen, it was weird because yesterday I did see him, and I was like, that looks really weird. Like, it doesn't make sense. I don't know what he's doing because the team, there's no confidence in it. Some weeks they're like, oh, wow, that's a good team. Other weeks they're terrible. I don't know if it's COVID. I don't know what's happening, but I would not invest in Phillip Rivers.
The Colts are 5-3. That's fine. I think they made an emotional decision to give him $30 million a year, and they're going to look to move on when they can.
Real quick, I know you have a lot more to get into, but I wanted to talk about this is big for you. This is the first ever Masters in November. And I wanted to see, because I know you love talking about the Masters, everything about it. Tell everybody again how much you love the Masters and all this stuff.
Well, all this stuff.
And I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Yeah, Mike teased me up for Pebble Beach and Augusta, and he leaves each podcast twice a year. I just want to go back, if I can take you back and set the scene.
Sure,
if you think about what we were doing, Mike, from March to June, and it was a whole lot of nothing, and we were deprived of sports, and including in March to June is April when the Masters normally happens. And so now we're in this phase where the baseball playoffs just ended. I was fully invested. NFL is continuing. The election had all of our attention for weeks and weeks there. And now we're flowing right into Masters week, and I'm not prepared for it mentally or emotionally. I'm not there yet, Mike. It's a special week that I'm not quite there yet. We might need a special Masters preview before the tournament kicks off on Thursday. I need to call our boy, our Goose, the gambling Goose. We normally join them to make some money. Yeah. The Masters is the best. I don't know what to expect in November. Normally it's in April. It's going to be colder. We're not going to have azaleas, but we will have fall leaves changing. The course is the greenest course in the world. That won't change. It's the best golf course in the world, the best tournament in the world. It's special. There's no fans this year like so many other things. You got to watch it Thursday through Sunday. Now catch this on Sunday. Okay. They're ending the tournament at 11:30 a.m. Pacific to flow into football the late window. So it's actually going to be Sunday morning, Masters Sunday. Hopefully Tiger wins again, second time in a row, straight into a second wave of football. So that's how you should plan your Sunday. Skip that first wave, Mike, the 10 o'clock game. Skip
that. Okay, good. I also wanted to mention, this was really weird. I know you just made a transition in jobs. And I just want to tell you that golf has seen a giant increase since you left a job recently. Since September, it's been a 25% increase of number of rounds played this year alone. And then equipment sales this year alone have spiked up 42% because it's literally the only thing people could do during COVID. And just wanted to bring that up to you.
Yeah, it's obviously I mistimed that. Like I mistimed those things. Listen, it's a great time for golf courses and golf equipment. Men want to play golf and get out of the house away from their kids and their women.
I've played so much.
And Mike, the women, like your fiance, Erin, she wants you out of the house just as bad as you want to get out of the house. So it's a win-win.
It's all equal. And another thing real quick, just the NBA, Jeremy, can you guess what date they picked to start? Do you know what date they're starting this year?
It must be Christmas Day.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
December 22nd, they're starting the NBA season. 72 games. I don't know why they didn't pick Christmas Day.
What an opportunity.
Jeremy, for years, they must have been listening to our podcast. We've said, start the season on Christmas Day. They missed it by a few. It's okay. Maybe they want to get a few things out of the way before big games on Christmas night, but I think it's good.
That bothers me. They had such a chance to own Christmas Day, to own that week between Christmas and New Year's when you're stuck with your family and you just want to escape for something on TV.
They technically did. They still have that time, but they didn't start it on Christmas.
Not opening day. So when is NBA free agency? That normally is fun, and I feel like December soon. It's already November.
I have no idea. All I know is it starts in a month from now.
Do some research on that. LeBron's not a free agent this offseason.
No. I think is Anthony Davis. I have no idea. What do you want to do? J-Dog takes on. What do you got?
You want to talk COVID or politics? You pick.
Let's talk COVID.
All right. Give me big dick energy.
Big dick energy. Winner of the week.
We talk about sports a lot, but COVID and politics, other podcasts. That's all they have.
Hey.
All right.
They got.
Big dick energy is John Gruden, because John Gruden said F COVID, Mike. John Gruden was the Raiders were fined $500,000. Gruden was personally fined $150,000, and they lost a 6th-round pick because they continue to violate COVID protocol. So John Gruden is standing up with Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, and a lot of powerful people and saying this isn't real. Don't wear a mask. I'm paraphrasing. This is not a real direct quote, just paraphrasing. He's saying F COVID and taking a fine more than $500,000. Other teams aren't having a problem with this. They're just wearing their masks and not being fined. So I don't think it's that hard.
A lot of them were in the shields, which I kind of like.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, Andy Reid, the big one. Anti-fog.
Mustache flow.
Yeah. It is weird that they have to wear a mask on the sidelines when no one else is there or able to be in the building without a COVID test. So I just don't I don't understand it. And I didn't understand why Al Michaels had to wear one in the booth when he was recording in
I'll tell you that. You remember what game that was?
I don't remember what game that was.
Twice.
He wasn't happy about it.
One at the San Francisco game. It's because your governor, Gavin Newsom, makes it a law. Not only is no one allowed in the Rams' shiny new stadium. You watch NFL on Sunday, there's tons of fans around, and things seem to be going okay. Comment on that how you will. But Gavin Newsom is not allowing fans in the brand new Rams Chargers stadium.
$6 billion empty stadium. Really good.
Sad.
It is sad. All right,
all right, let's get to politics. Let's play Guess That Tweet.
Ooh.
Let's play Guess That Tweet.
I just looked behind me. No idea. Is Joe Flacco starting right now for the Jets? Is this real?
I made a deal with myself not to watch 1 minute of the Jets-Patriots game tonight. It's just a deal I made. So if our show starts and that game starts behind you, we're going to have to end it.
I bet on the Patriots, so I hope they can beat Joe Flacco tonight.
I hope your bets next week are better than last week's.
Well, yeah. Good thing we didn't talk last week because all the bets did not go well.
We'll get to that in a second. All right. I just want to give you a little political, funny / sad humor, and then we'll get to your best bets. Okay. Guess that tweet, Mike. Who tweeted this genius idea? Here we go. Instead of us fighting and going to court, why don't we have Nevada, Arizona, Georgia, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin vote again? We can have it done within a week and maintain our democracy.
I don't know who tweeted that.
It's a tough question. He's a famous running back. I think
running back.
Clearly, based on his Twitter, he's been hit in the head too many times, and I can self-diagnose him with CTE over the Twitter waves for this tweet. It's Herschel Walker, one of the best running backs ever, Mike, in college football history. Didn't do so well in the NFL, had some major injury. Herschel Walker thinks we should take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states and just vote again because that wasn't enough. That shit show, whatever we all went through as a country the last few weeks, wasn't enough.
Literally doesn't even make sense. Why would
The votes are there.
Yeah, the votes are there. I don't know. It is weird when old people get on Twitter and start tweeting their thoughts.
That's our step into the political realm with a genius idea.
That's great. Well, maybe we'll make it happen one day. Maybe they can go vote on something. All right, I got some bets.
Football.
Where are my bets at? There they are.
Hit it.
If money talks, then I got a lot to say. I'm on the grind trying to make $100,000 a day.
Last week was really bad. I'm glad we didn't have a show. We have a show this week, and my bets are going to be much, much better.
It takes a real man to not have his picks on the record and to be honest with how bad they were.
They're so bad. I just want to make sure that if our mutual friend does listen to the podcast, to let him know that they were terrible picks.
If he listens, then someone tipped him off to my Steelers rant, and he's not going to be happy about that.
All right, I'm taking Jags plus 14 at the Packers. I love my new boy. He's taking over. Minshew Madness is gone. We're on the Luton train. Jags are going to be good with this kid. He's frisky. I would take a frisky rookie over a very just like mediocre Minshew. I'm going rookie over here over the Packers. It's an easy pick for me. 14 points, Jeremy. You can't not take this bet. You got to take the points.
Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams have been embarrassing folks. Thursday night, they scored so many points against the 49ers. Their offense is clicking. Like I said, Rodgers has no help, and it doesn't matter. I never would take Luton over Rodgers, no matter the line.
It's not Luton over Rodgers. I'm taking the points and hoping that the defense can hold them slightly and get some garbage time points. I want the garbage time points. Bengals at Steelers. This is a tough one to bet, but I'm taking the Bengals plus 9 here. Steelers coming off a terrible loss. We don't know if this is real or if this is a thing of the past. Maybe it's just like a little fluke during midseason, but the Bengals are coming off a bye. This is a lot of points. And all the Steelers games weirdly have been very, very close. I'm going to take the points. 9 points.
I love how you said weirdly very close because I was looking at their point differential as I was formulating my bullshit or believe on them being fraudulent. And yeah they're all close because they're not very good and they could easily be 4-4. Okay.
There you go.
So, the Bengals are the pick, and I love it. Coming off the bye, weeks to prepare. The Bengals coaching staff knows what the Steelers do, their tendencies. Meanwhile, Big Ben, he has knee injuries on both knees. That's when you know you're old, when both knees are injured. We saw the one at the end of the first half. If you're watching the game, he had to come out for a minute. Mason Rudolph had to get a few snaps. Ben's not going to practice much, if at all, this week. I love the Bengals pick.
Bucks at Panthers. I'm taking the Panthers at plus 6. I bet on Teddy Two Gloves this weekend. He covered for us, covered against the Kansas City Chiefs, which was a great game. I think this is an easy one here. Home dog getting 6 points against Tampa Bay. They haven't looked very good. Divisional game, divisional dog. We have a divisional dog stat that always works. If you're a divisional dog at home, it's an easy pick. It's like 56% coverage. I'm going to take it. And listen, the Bucks they haven't been playing very well. I don't know what's going on. Maybe Tom Brady's a little tired. Maybe he's partying too much in Florida.
Yeah, too much family time. He's used to being segregated from his family. I'm worried about the Panthers as I think about this. Yeah. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is out. I think he's out again. Did you know that?
Yeah, he was in, and then I don't know. I think he got hurt again. He was
out. I think he's
good.
out. They didn't move the ball as well without him. Much better with him. Curtis Samuel's turning it on. Robbie Anderson's Deese. I guess you could still pick him. Yeah, take the Panthers.
All right.
Watch the line. If McCaffrey's out, the line should move. So maybe don't hit it on a Monday, right?
Listen, it's Monday. Yeah, I gotta wait and see till Saturday. Texans at Browns. Texans plus 3. Baker's on the COVID list, which I hope he is. I'm taking the Texans here at plus 3. Baker was announced.
Easy on the hope it is COVID, buddy. Chill.
I don't hope he has COVID. If he is on COVID, I will place bets against the Browns.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Texans. So put your money there.
That's
my only reason to bet this game. Because if he's out.
Yeah. Wait,
thought?
You're going to take the Browns without Baker? Is that what you said?
No, I'm taking the Texans.
Yeah, I like the Texans either way. Baker has not been practicing because he's on the COVID list, so either he's out or he's in without practice time. The Texans are playing better without Bill O'Brien. They're winning games. I know they're playing a lot of overtime and close games, but they're winning them even against bad teams.
San Francisco plus 9 in New Orleans playing the Saints. Saints coming off a huge primetime game. I think this is a great spot for the 49ers. I think they were on bye last week, or did they play Thursday night?
They played Thursday night. Their whole skill position unit, like every running back and every receiver, like had COVID or was exposed to COVID. They didn't play, so they look terrible. Why is that going to change? Are they all available, Mike? What is your research telling you?
Well, I'm thinking if they're coming back this week, we'll get some reports midweek. You want to play them healthy coming back. I think this is a good spot for them. 9 points is a lot, and I know the Saints are good, but I feel like the 49ers have a decent defense if they have healthy players. I hope G's not playing because the other guy's a better. I don't even know his name.
I understand. Nick Mullins. Brandon Ayuk is really good, and whenever he does play, you should bet on the Niners and play him in fantasy.
Okay. That's all I got. Those are my bets. I have food news if you want to hit up some food news real quick.
I have food news too. It's dark. It's getting dark here. It sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's weird. We never recorded
Here's
this
what
time.
I found. Here's some news for food news.
All right. We haven't done food news in a while. What do you want to go first? What do you got?
Yeah. I haven't been out much since February, and that sounds sad, but I think a lot of people can relate to that. And here in San Diego, I've been going out to some outdoor meals. Not many people with me, socially distanced, all that good stuff. And I am falling in love with mezcal, which we fell in love with in Tulum. And the loyal listeners of the show will know why we were in Tulum. Many of them were with us in Tulum for our Sports Hangover meetup in Tulum. Yeah. Mezcal is amazing. It works even better than tequila in a lot of situations. It's got a little smoky flavor, but it's just strong and flavorful and gets you there. And it meshes well with a lot of fruity drinks. You could also drink it like with water if you want to be low cal. Mezcal for the win. Please participate.
Well, I guess I can help you before you drink your mezcal. Four Loko just announced they're releasing a line of shots called Pregame, and it's Four Loko Pregame, so you could pregame ahead before you go out. And get kind of lit before you go out, which is they're in like a nice little shot glass, and you could just take a shot of the Four Loko pregame. So there you go. I if this was the real Four Loko back when we were in college, people would not be loving this as much. But
what will you grab first if you see them both? If you see mezcal and you see Four Loko shot, what do you grab?
I mean, I'm gonna grab mezcal.
All right.
Even though I don't like the smokiness, I'm actually not a fan of the smoke. Too much for me.
So you prefer just tequila to mezcal?
Yeah. Because sometimes even the whiskeys that are a little too smoky, I can't do it. It's too much. I don't want to.
And it depends. If the mezcal is with like a fruity drink, which I tend to get, it's not so smoky anymore.
Okay. Maybe I got to try it out. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'll be there this weekend. Who knows?
Yeah. Are you guys coming?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Follow us on Instagram at popline.co. Follow us on the website at popline.co. And yeah, we'll hopefully be back next week if we don't get arrested, molested, or abused. Hopefully we are back.